May the gods keep the wolves in the hills and the women in our beds.
Hey! Is this heaven? No. It's Iowa.
Well, hello, sexy monkeys. Welcome back to Sky Gene Experience. I'm Ben. Today, I'm going to talk about the difference between the movie of The Ghost in the Darkness and the actual book, The Diary of Colonel John Henry Patterson, the guy that actually killed the two lions, which is played by Val Kilmer in the movie Ghost in the Darkness. So far, I did a commentary, which means, if you don't know what that is, I put the movie on in my house and I talked throughout the whole entire movie, giving my 2 cents, trivia, this and that. I also did a movie review. I love this movie, by the way, if you guys have not realized that by now. And I just got done finishing the book when I was at work the last few, well, it took me about 2 weeks when I had time at work. And it's amazing. And you'd be surprised. I thought they did a really great job at telling a great, accurate story throughout the movie. And reading the book, they really did a great job. But there are a bunch of little details that I will tell you that are the difference between the movie and the book. Remember when they're in that cage, the trap, when the lion comes in, hits that trap, and the gate goes behind it, and the Indians, they would shoot the lion. There's like 3 of them. In the movie, there was 3 Indian hunters, but in real life it was 10 non-Indian hunters. But they did, in the movie, just like in real life, they didn't shoot the lion. The lion scared the shit out of them so much where it took them a good minute before they, got their rifles and shot and completely did not hit the lion, just like in the movie. And in real life, they actually hit the chain where the gate opened up and the lion escaped, just like in the movie. So that was real, but the fact that it was 10 non-Indian hunters compared to the 3 Indian hunters, that is one of the difference. Really, the main thing that we might know already, the difference is, in the movie, the lions have the manes, the hair, the Simba, the big... In real life, they didn't have that. So that is one thing that is completely different. But, it's Hollywood. They want to make it look more scary, so. And it works, so. But you remember in the movie when he came in on the train and he had, like, the best seat in the house, which is that bench in front of that train? That he never did that. There's no. When I read when I read his book, there's no mention of that seat up there at all. They did kill a fucking ostrich. They killed a fucking ostrich on the train, and they actually took a photo of it. It was actually... Africa is interesting, let's put it that way. In the movie, when he arrives in Africa, it seems like he arrived in Africa, then he took the train straight to Savo. Well, in real life, he actually hung out in Mombasa for like a week, almost a week and a half before he actually got on the train to Savo. So, in the movie, they made it seem like it was really quick, but in real life, he actually, got to Mombasa and hung out for, like I said, about a week, and then he finally took off. When he arrived in Savo, the first day is different. So, in the movie, he arrives, the first thing he does is he sees the site, and he goes to the hospital, and he's being told about the lion, and he goes in the tree and kills the lion that night. Totally did not happen. When he first arrived, he went immediately to his palm hunt. It's a hut. It's just a native. I don't fucking know how to call it. He slept in a fucking hut, and he didn't come close to like seeing anyone. It was nighttime. He just got there, went straight to bed, and then he woke up that next day, and he looked around, and then he pretty much stayed the night again. And so the first 2 nights, two nights, 2 days, he really didn't do much at all. He just kind of looked around. He didn't get to the main spot yet. Okay, so the first appearance of the lions, like I said, in the movie it was the first day, first night. But in real life, it wasn't for like a few days after his arrival is when two coolies, that's what they call the local workers, coolies, they went missing, and he didn't even think they were lions. He thought it was just foul play. They got murdered, so he didn't even believe this whole lions thing until a good solid couple days to a week into his arrival. In the movie, you remember that really big, powerful local worker that is like, does that, and he gets dragged out of his tent and gets killed. In real life, it was like week 3. It's after that guy gets killed. It's when, oh shit, there's a lion here. And that moment, they actually do find out there was 2 lions. Instead of the movie when Angus gets killed at the train station when that second lion jumps down from the roof, that's not in real life. They knew it after that big powerful guy gets killed. There was no train station attack where, oh, 2 lions. No, that's not how that went down. Throughout the movie, you have this person named Angus. He's kind of like the one that gets killed at the train station. In real life, there's no Angus, but there are people that were around that helped him. I mean, they were Mr. Anderson, which was superintendent of the works, Dr. McCulloch, he was a principal medical officer, and Captain Haslam, he was the one that followed Patterson after that big guy gets killed. The next morning, Captain Haslam and Patterson, they go track down the blood trail, and they find the what remains, which is literally just pretty much a head, and that was about it. It was a pretty nasty scene. Patterson, his first night in the tree wasn't until 3 weeks into his arrival, but in the movie it was literally the first night. So that is the difference there. In the movie, they find the den, the lion's den, when Michael Douglas' character Remington, but in real life, Patterson didn't find the den till after the lions were killed. That is another difference I did find out in the book. In the movie, there was only one doctor. The guy, I forgot his name already. But in real life, there was many doctors. There were Dr. McCulloch, Dr. Rose, and Dr. Brooke. So you have all these different doctors that played little roles in real life, and that these doctors all came together to be the one doctor you see in the movie. So in the movie, when the hospital scene, it's like that big fucking massacre. In real life, they did move the hospital not once but twice because they kept getting attacked, but there was no massacre. There was 1 or 2 that did get killed in the hospital when they moved it, but there was no massacre that happened in real life. There was actually a murder plot for Colonel Patterson. When Remington is introduced into the movie, it's like the nick of time because they were just about to like kill Patterson. And in real life, he was involved in a similar thing like that, but it was more down in the quarry and away from the main station. And he somehow talked his way out of like telling him to like stop it. And so he really did almost get murdered by his workers in real life. That is true. One interesting thing I did realize, and they didn't really show it in the movie, was there was a huge gap when the lions didn't attack for like 5 months. Literally, they didn't attack for several handful of months. And in the movie, it was you didn't really have that gap. Even though Michael Douglas, the producer, yeah, he also played Remington, but he was one of the main producer. In the editing for the post-production, he made his screen time a lot more, so he cut a lot of the story off that didn't have him in it, so that could explain why there's such gaps in the movie with the timeline. But yeah, in real life, it's like 4 or 5 months, there literally was no attacks. You have to realize this whole thing was like a 9-month session, so they attacked for a little bit, went away for 4 or 5 months, and they came back hard for another couple months. That's how crazy this shit was. It was into the point where they shut the working station down for 3 whole weeks in all December. The whole month of December, when they both killed the lions, no working was done for 3 weeks. In the movie, Patterson asked for help, military officers. He didn't get that. But in real life, I guess he actually got some military officers and some naval officers. Not much, but in the book he said he got some help and they came, but they must have not hung around that much because I didn't really read much else about them in the book. like I said, Mr. Remington, that is played by Michael Douglas in the movie, came to help. In real life, it was actually Mr. Whitehead. He was a district officer. He came down on December 2nd to help kill the lion. And he actually, he did help Patterson, but he never, like, Patterson was the one that killed the two lions. Whitehead just kind of assisted him. In the movie, they have Abdullah. He's the leader of the workers, and he's the one that almost got his head blown off by Remington when he made his introduction. In real life, that dude actually died, and in the movie, he didn't die. So that's a difference, but he didn't really have much. He's not the way he was in real life. He wasn't that much of a leader, but there was a person named Abdullah in the book that ended up getting killed. The whole misfire thing with the weapon, that was actually true. That was actually true, which I was really surprised. But yeah, I was actually really surprised that was true. But they put that in the movie. Really, there's not much else difference besides just the way they went down the lions. So, like in the movie, the second time the lion gets killed, it was at the bridge. It wasn't at the bridge at all. It was, not even close. It was in the trees and all that stuff. And they shot the lion literally like 6 fucking times to kill that second lion. And when he died in the movie, he like bit the branch or a tree. I always wonder why, but in the book, he actually died that way. His last shot came down and he like bit on a big old tree thing. So that was true. But yeah, overall, there was just a little difference here, a little difference there, but I still think they did a damn good job at telling a great, accurate story of Ghost in the Darkness. And if you get the chance, I highly recommend reading this book. It's his journal, his diary of the incident. And there are pictures in here that they took, and it's actually really cool. I highly recommend checking it out when you can. Alright, Section Monkeys, that's the difference between the book and the movie of Ghost in the Darkness. And I'm not sure which one I'll be doing next for a book and movie difference, but when I know, I'll let you sexy monkeys know. Until then, see you later.